What's going on, raccoons? Now let's talk about responding to emergency situations that might occur during the school day or after school hours. First, during the school day. There are situations where we may need to leave the classrooms we're in and evacuate the building. One of the most obvious ones is when we hear that fire alarm go off. When that fire alarm goes off, the strobes are flashing, we're hearing the alert, we grab that red bag, we go out through our emergency exits, and we get as far away from the building as possible, up against the fence line if you're on the front of Stadium Drive, and again, up against the fence line if you're in the back behind the tech ed wing and the greenhouses and the field house. You want to get as far away from the building as possible. You want to make sure you're far away from the drives as possible so any emergency trucks can get through. Again, that's if you're leaving the building. If you don't know where to go, remember there are maps. The maps that are located by the emergency call buttons indicate where you should go if there is a fire. You just follow that red line, and then you try to go to that same exact location. Keep in mind, that's your safest, fastest way out of the building. That part of your access point may be blocked due to an emergency situation or whatever it might be. Be familiar with all the exits around the classrooms that you're in. Teachers will review that with you as part of the safety procedures, so you know the quickest way to get out of the building, but also an alternative if that way is blocked. Another emergency that we may need to respond to is a severe weather event. If it's during the school day and we find out there's a tornado warning or whatever it might be, and we need to seek additional shelter from the classroom that we're currently in, then we just need to follow our severe weather protocols. There will be an announcement made as best as possible letting you know that we're in a severe weather situation and we need to seek additional shelter. You need to be familiar with each room that you're in and the severe weather location areas. Again, on that map, by the call button, in your classroom, in blue, is your assigned severe weather location for that room. You want to get to the lowest part of the building, so think about the 100s, social studies, English areas, and you want to be in a room that does not have exterior glass. So again, chances are your classroom, depending on where you are, some of you are going to stay put right where you are because you're in an interior spot in the lowest part. You may go into one of the cafeterias, north or south cafeteria. Most likely, many of us will end up in the tunnels where we'll have an assigned letter that we report to, and we stay for the duration of the severe weather event. Again, you will want to watch for information, listen to the announcements, and we'll inform you of what to do and when it's safe to leave that area. Keep in mind, unlike a fire situation, it may be for an extended period of time. Typically, tornado warnings extend for sometimes up to 15, 30, 45 minutes as we prepare for that severe weather event to come upon our campus. While we have designated locations to evacuate during a fire and during severe weather, there are times when it may be hard to access those locations. So let's think about evacuating the building for an emergency situation during an unstructured time. Maybe it's during passing period. Maybe it's during lunch and the fire alarm goes off, whatever it might be, or there might be an announcement saying, hey, we need to evacuate the building. Whatever might happen, we just need to be prepared. On our campus, we have what we call rally points, places that we can go to when we're evacuating and we need to spread across further away from the building, or it's during an unstructured time and we need to get out of the building as quickly as possible during a passing period or, like I said, lunch. If we find ourselves in that situation where we're leaving the building and we're not with a class, we go to a rally point, which would be either the tennis courts, which are back behind the field house, Ruck Stadium, or over our North Campus, up over the hill onto the softball fields. If we report to one of these three locations in evacuation during an unstructured time, that's the best thing we can do to figure out who we meet up with, take attendance, and to find out what's going on next. Be familiar with our rally points as you think about our entire campus and which ones are around based off of your location when that emergency situation happens. Information is always important so we know what's going on around our campus. I'll share information all the time with you, and after an emergency situation or an unusual situation, typically email you and give you the best update that I can. However, the best way that we're going to get information when it comes to something happening on campus is through the loudspeakers in the hallways and in each classroom. So that loudspeaker in your room, take a look, try to find where it is. It's where you'll get the most important information and any unusual situation that might be happening during the course of a day, before school, after school. This is where I'll come over the loudspeaker and tell you what's going on. Maybe you'll hear there's a medical alert. And then maybe after that medical alert, which means a medical team is responding to help a student in need or a staff member in need, you might get additional information that says, hey, we need everybody to stay in their room. We know passing period's coming up, but we just need the hallways clear because the EMTs are coming through and we want to respect the dignity of the person that needs that help and support. You might hear other things like CPI, which is our crisis prevention intervention team that helps people that are navigating tougher situations, help them calm down and make sure that they're safe and that they can move on with their day in a positive way. When that loudspeaker is about to have an announcement over here, there'll be a ding, ding. And it's typically me or somebody coming in to share important information. If we're interrupting class with an announcement over the loudspeaker or lunch or something, chances are it's really, really important. So you need to stop what you're doing and wait for that announcement. Other maybe less than important announcements like, oh, we got people down here with passes or we need to see this will occur during the passing period. And if you hear your name, you kind of just go down there. But if it's in class and you hear that ding, you need to stop what you're doing, be ready for information that might help you know more about what's going on campus and help keep a situation that's maybe escalating from escalating even further.